First certificate, Reading and Use of English Paper, Part 1, Multiple Choice Cloze. In this part, we are given a text with gaps in it. At the bottom, we are given 4 options to choose from: A, B, C, or D. First, let us read the text. Flow. Now, the word flow has come to have a modern meaning. Indeed, it describes the state of mind in which one feels excited and has an increased. In so-called flow states, we are under the impression of a shift in the perception of time. We may feel it speeding up, or, on the contrary, down. We have a clear objective and immediate on as to whether we are getting closer to it or not. Not only that, we may view tasks as demanding, but at the same time attainable. In this mental space, we get bored to our skill level exceeding the activity, or get frustrated due to the activity being our grasp. In flow, we view ourselves as being in control, in many cases as being the masters of our universe. Many view these states as the ultimate all beings should aspire to. But we must also remember that there are negative sides to merely seeking thrills that make us feel alive. There is a real possibility of addiction. Okay, so let's read it again. Flow. Now, the word flow has come to have a modern meaning. Indeed, it describes a state of mind. Okay, so in the exam, you're given an answer. Okay, at the bottom here, you would have an option 0, and it would give you an option like a choice between 4 alternatives, describes being one of them. In this case, I have done it for you. Okay, so it describes a state of mind in which one feels excited and has an increased 1. Okay, so we have to choose between the options A, B, C, or D. Can you see them at the bottom? Okay, so 1A says acuteness, 1B expansiveness, 1C vision, and 1D focus. So which one is the correct answer? There is one and only one correct answer. Okay, acuteness. Is that correct? Can you have an increased acuteness? Not really. Oftentimes used acuteness with the structure acuteness with of. Acuteness of perception. You don't normally see an adjective followed by acuteness, especially when it's preceded by a verb like have. To have increased acuteness does not sound correct. Let's look at expansiveness. Increased expansiveness. Those words don't collocate. Increased vision. You can have increased vision. But when you say I have increased vision, it means that you can physically see more. Maybe you can see more than what you used to because you've attained some sort of magical powers. Okay, and you can see through walls. But in this context, it doesn't really fit. Okay, let's look at the last one, focus. Can you say increased focus? You can. If you have increased focus, it means that you can concentrate better. Okay, does that fit in the context? It does. It's talking about how you feel excited, a mental state, and how you have increased focus, another mental state. Okay, they go nicely together. So the answer, we shall put D. Okay, let's continue. In so-called flow states, we are under the impression of a shift in the perception of time. We may feel it speeding up, or on the contrary, down. Slowing down, getting down, going down, descending down. If we look at the last one, descending down, that almost doesn't make any sense, because descending already has the idea of going down embedded into it. We shall not mark D. What about B and C? Can time get down? Can time go down? No. Can time slow down? Yes. So time collocates with slow down. The answer is A, slowing. Let's continue. We have a clear objective and immediate on as to whether we are getting close to it or not. Immediate action, immediate logout, immediate experience, or immediate feedback. The answer here is D, immediate feedback. If you have immediate feedback, that means that you normally do something and you get information on as to whether you were doing that thing, for example, properly or not. Let's look at the others though. A, immediate action. Okay, can you have immediate action? Not normally. You can take immediate action, but you wouldn't normally have immediate action. Have immediate logout doesn't make any sense. Have immediate experience. I had immediate experience. Those words don't go well together. So again, the answer we shall put as D, feedback. Let's continue. Not only that, we may view tasks as demanding, but at the same time attainable. Impossibly, only, well, badly. Okay, so we may impossibly view tasks. Doesn't make sense because the modal verb may has implicit in it that there's some sort of chance of that thing happening, which contradicts impossibly. That indicates there is no chance. We would fall into a contradiction. So we know the answer cannot be impossibly. What about only? We may only view tasks as demanding, but at the same time attainable. So when you say only view tasks, it means that you can only see them as demanding and as nothing else. But the sentence says you view them as attainable, falling into another contradiction. So we know that we shall not mark B. What about well? We may well view tasks as demanding. If you use well after modal verbs such as may, might, or could, it means that they have an increased likelihood or an increased chance of them happening. So these words go well together. And in fact, here we have the correct answer. Finally, we have D, badly. Okay, we may badly view tasks as demanding, which doesn't make any sense in this context. C, okay? Let's continue. In this mental space, we get bored due to our skill level exceeding the activity. We seldom get bored. Seldom means hardly ever, which makes sense. Okay, it said that we feel excited when we're in this flow state, and if we feel excited, we don't feel bored, or we seldom feel bored. So this one is the correct answer. We always get bored. B wouldn't make sense. It would be contradictory with the feeling of excitement we feel. Often get bored doesn't make any sense for the same reason. Invariably means almost the same as always. So B, C, and D have a very similar meaning, and none of them are correct. The correct answer we shall mark A. Or get frustrated due to the activity being our grasp. We say over our grasp, beyond our grasp, about our grasp, or above our grasp. Okay, so here we have an idiom. If we can't do something, we say that is beyond our grasp. It means that we are not capable of doing something. Okay, the answer is B, beyond. Let's continue. In flow, we view ourselves as being in control, in many cases as being the masters of our universe. Many view these states as the ultimate all human beings should aspire to. So the ultimate goal, target, merit, or vision. The ultimate vision So you can say ultimate with vision. But can you aspire to an ultimate vision? You can't. So those group of words don't collocate together. What about merit? The ultimate merit sounds rather odd, and you can't really aspire to an ultimate merit. Now, we have two left, goal and target. So these can have very similar meanings. Nevertheless, target tends to have more of a short-term perspective, whilst goal is often viewed as something more long-term. Okay, so the ultimate target all human beings should aspire to, or goal. So goal sounds a lot more important. Okay, and I think the sentence here requires something important, not something transitory, like a target, for instance. You may see this in a business context where you have targets for every 3 months, but goal can be something very different. You could say the goal of a company would be to create very, very happy people, okay, or to make a difference in people's lives, to help people communicate better, for instance. Goal is a word that fits in very nicely here. We shall put a goal. Okay, let's continue and let's finish it. But we must also remember that there are negative sides to merely seeking thrills that make us feel alive. There is a real possibility of addiction. So seek over, into, onto, or out. So here we have a word that requires some sort of a particle. Okay? Do we seek over? Do we seek into, onto, or out? We seek out. Okay? Seek means to look for. You have games that children play called hide and seek, whereby one child hides somewhere and the other person looks for that person. So seek can be used synonymously with look for. With seek, you can put seek out. Actually, you don't need to put anything there. You can say you can seek thrills, but seek out thrills gives it more emphasis. Okay, so here the correct answer, we shall put D out.